Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts with breaking news.
That breaking news this morning, we're taking a look at the scene of a Metro garage that erupted in flames this morning. So this happened near 49th Avenue and Lillian Street in Bellevue shortly after 5 a.m. We are limited on details right now regarding what caused the fire or the extent of all the damages. The good news there is there are no injuries to report at this time. Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Erin Hartley, of course, always joined by Jared Lansford and Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. All right, lot to get to this morning.
Including, I'm thinking of those firefighters out there in the cold, and this is record-breaking cold.
Haven't had a record during this stretch, but we've dipped as low as 15 below officially, and that is a new record, and we crushed the old one. So let's get right into it here. 11 below is what the record was for this date set back in 1918. As cold as 15 below so far this morning. Now we have jumped back up a little bit, but the extreme cold warning is in place as wind chills could get as cold as 35 below yet still this morning. So this is the one we need to watch for here. 13 below the latest reading. It's still got about another hour yet where this could drop. 15 below in Bennington, 16 below in Fremont, a couple of the colder numbers, but even when it is a little bit better, we're talking 8 to 9 degrees below zero. So look at York. York and Columbus have been bouncing around 20 below zero for air temperatures this morning. Winds are light, but it doesn't take much, folks. 5 to 10 mile per hour sustained winds are enough to knock the wind chill back. Let's see what the latest numbers are because these just updated. 41 below is what it feels like in York, 37 below in Columbus, Fremont at 35 below. And where the wind doesn't register at times, you can see it just basically it's the air temperature out there. It is just nasty cold, and that is why, well, most school districts are out of session. You can see you're down near 30 below for wind chills yet at 8 o'clock, and those should get back above zero later on this afternoon. But a lot of waiting. Deck night forecast, we're going to call it an Are You Kidding Me? I'm just throwing it in there, making sure you're paying attention. Finding new ways to talk about the cold here. A little snow covered there for you. So, yeah, it's still going to be cold. Let's go through the actual numbers here, though. 7 o'clock towards 8, towards 9, towards 10. You're going to try to warm up into the single digits below zero. By noon, we're up near zero. Then this afternoon, I think we can muster about 6 by 2 o'clock, around 8 by 4, a couple of double digits showing up. We have not been in the double digits above zero since 5 o'clock Sunday last weekend. I know, it's wild. Some car thermometers, bank thermometers might have gotten there yesterday, but again, by the numbers here, we're going to dip one more night. It looks like it's going to be down in the single digits below zero by tomorrow morning. We're likely close to 10 below for a little while. That's where we'll start off the day tomorrow, and you can see 16 for the high tomorrow afternoon, so a little bit better. But that morning there with the sunshine, at least it's going to dip down near 10 below again, and that is very, very close to a record.
All right. The promising news out of all of this is that we only got to get through like 1.5 more days now.
Yeah.
I guess a half day for us, starting for some people, though.
Yeah.
The weekend should be so much more.
It's looking so much better. Just hang on with us here, folks. We're almost through this here. We got one more First Alert weather day tomorrow. We'll dip down to 10 below, try to set that record again. Wind chills could be as cold as 25 below. I showed you that we get to 16 for the high on Friday. 32 on Saturday, the way things are looking. So double it tomorrow, double it again on Saturday, and you can see we get to 42 on Sunday, 48 on Monday. Couple of things to watch long term. System here in the middle of the country, it looks like middle of next week, tries to bring us rain as of right now. We'll go 57 ahead of that, though. This is probably the day to watch. If we're going to make it run at 60, that's the one. And then it tries to cool off a little bit, but still a lot of 50s next week. And it's possible even middle of next week there could be another storm system moving through. So I want to stress we're not done with winter yet. I'm not trying to rain on the parade here, but next week looks so much better. Things are gonna melt and thaw this weekend, and that beautiful sound of all that snow just trickling down the street and running away.
Can't wait to hear it. It's just gonna be such a great break from what we've had.
The long stretches like this are just rough.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy going outside. People's moods get impacted. We need some sun.
It's going to sound like a block party as we go through the weekend with everybody's going out and like feling like it's 60 degrees, even though it's only like 30.
I know it's just been so desolate outside. Like just us and our dogs. Are we look at my fellow dog owners. I'm like, I know. Now I know it's gonna be a party, right?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we got some traffic to talk about. It's already an accident.
Yeah, and we've got one here that's noteworthy, and then one we're gonna take a little trip to talk about too, on what we're seeing with that one. So let's start in the metro with this one. This is 60th and Pacific where we're seeing this, and we've had some delays that have been showing up in this area. It's massive delays, but it's something to watch if you're gonna be driving in this area. Some people will use this kind of zigzag with Leavenworth right near Elmwood Park to get to where they need to go. So watch that this morning with that crash that's in place there. We zoom things out though. Take a look at how things are. We've got a lot of schools that are out of session again with the cold, so it's pretty quiet on the roads. A little bit of a slowdown there on Highway 370 showing up as you're getting roughly around 128th or so is where we have that in both directions, so watch that as a potential slowdown. But otherwise, it's mostly pretty good in the roads around here. We get a little further to the west. We had some big issues that were in place on I-80. This is just west of Lincoln. So this was closed for a while at 48th Street and for several miles off to the west because of a crash. That has reopened now, but you still got a lot of traffic still working its way through that area. But if you maybe heard about that earlier this morning, I wanted to first alert you, this has reopened. So if you were maybe heading off to the west, you're going to be going past Lincoln, know that you can use this now. You don't have to worry about taking an alternate route. That all should be cycled through by the time you make your way west of Lincoln. So again, pretty smooth with how things stand at this point, aside from those two issues that we had. And hey, we're already dealing with the cold. We don't need anything else to have to deal with.
Right about that. All right, Jared, thank you.
All right, in the meantime, the cold caused metro schools to make some changes to their schedules once again. Bellevue, Bennington, and Elkhorn are among some of the districts closed today. Omaha and Millard will have remote learning. Creighton University's campus opens at 11 this morning. Our ticker at the bottom of the screen has the latest list of closings and delays for you as well.
Omaha Wasteline plans to resume operations today after canceling service the past 2 days, and with temperatures expected to remain below zero for most or all of this morning. Don't be surprised if the trash pickup is later than usual. And if today is your trash day and your trash does not get picked up, officials say to leave it out to be picked up tomorrow. A local nonprofit is stepping up during this dangerous cold.
At Generation Diamond in South O, volunteers handed out lunch to those in need. The nonprofit was founded back in 2016. Now, when it's this cold, volunteers make sure those living on the streets have a place to eat and to stay warm.
You can be at home, bake one, watching TV, but always there's somebody who needs your help, especially during this time.
Well, around 50 people come in each and every day, and as long as they have the supplies, they never turn anybody away. The nonprofit also provides warm blankets and clothing.
We'll have much more on this extreme cold on our website, firstalert6.com. You'll find a full list of closings and cancellations, the latest forecasts. You can even submit your weather videos or photos. Also, be sure to download the First Alert 6 news and weather apps on the Apps Store or Google Play. Well, testimony in a manslaughter case against an Omaha surgeon is underway.
And the boyfriend of the woman killed in that car crash was the first person to take stand. William Story described that crash as, quote, the worst moment of his life. He and Anna Bosma were driving back to their hotel downtown when they were hit head on. Anna was just 22 years old. William did suffer serious injuries. In the meantime, the man accused in the case is 62-year-old Dr. Mark Carlson. The state says he was racing another driver on Dodge and lost control of his car near UNO. His defense team told jurors another driver caused him to crash in a fit of road rage. They also say he did not feel well and fainted in the car. That trial is set to last about 2 weeks.
All right, now to the First Alert 6 safety desk. I'm here with Maria Kate, and as the frigid temps continue to be a threat here in the metro, Maria, what do experts want us to be really cautious of right now?
Yeah, we really got to be careful for frostbite because experts say these high wind chills and the temperatures below zero, it could lead to that pretty quickly. So you definitely want to be as safe as possible. So frostbite happens when your hands or your toes get so cold that your skin does not get enough blood supply. So the first sign of frostbite is frost nip, and it can set in as little as 5 minutes if your skin is exposed. So Dr. Zach Fry says if you think you do have frostbite, you of course need to go to the hospital right away.
The best thing to do is immediately get inside somewhere warm, and you want to rewarm, but not rewarm too fast. So you don't want to stick your hands in a hot water, but you do want to use warm water. That's going to be the fastest way to rewarm an area is warm water.
So Dr. Fry also says if your fingers, toes, or your skin might look white or ashy in color, then you may have frostbite, and you definitely want to get that medical help as soon as possible.
For sure. All right. You also have some new information regarding teens and those popular protein supplements.
Yeah, there is a new study that's come out focusing on this, and they're finding that many teens who are using supplements for muscle building also have symptoms of body dysmorphia. So the supplements were often taken by teens who were trying to gain and build up a lot of muscle, and those included things like whey protein powder or creatine products. And there was also a pattern of excessive gym time and obsessing over food take in the people in the study. Now, the study also shows that people who may be using supplements in place of anabolic steroids, those are found to be harmful, but the authors also want to say that the supplements, some of them might not be as safe as well, so you definitely want to be careful, and they're still doing more research on this.
All right. It's very popular with the teenage boys,
Yes.
I know for sure.
My brothers.
All right. Maria, thank you, and we'll be right back.
All right, time now 7:14 on a frigid. I feel like we just keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it truly is so cold.
I know.
This is the morning you've been talking about the most as far as the most dangerous cold temperatures.
Yeah, by far this was going to be the coldest one. It has broke a record. We dipped down into the teens. There's much better weather coming, but I tell you what, we still got another morning like it tomorrow leading into the weekend. So record cold possible Friday morning. It gets better Saturday, better on Sunday. We'll get some melting rolling there, but First Alert Weather Day still on track for the coldest temps are right now. We've been as cold as 15 below. Wind chills could get as cold as 35 below. Today, the sun will shine, but it's still going to be plenty cold, and record potential still on Friday morning as we could get close to one there. So extreme cold warning in place where it could get as cold as 35 below. These are issued anytime the air temperature or the wind chill could get as cold as 30 below or worse, and that's what we're looking at here. Not consistently, but where it's possible. 16 below in Fremont, 13 below Omaha, a few 9 below readings there from Millard through Papillion and Bellevue, a couple of the warmer spots, I guess 18 below in Columbus, 20 below in York. Winds are light. It doesn't take much wind, and then you can see where the wind chills get down to 41 below in York, 35 below in Fremont. So even when the wind doesn't register, it still feels as cold as the air temperature. It is not pleasant out there, and we're going to see those wind chills still be an issue most of the morning. By the afternoon, they get back up near zero, so that's a huge improvement. The wind is very light all day, thank goodness. 8 for the high today, and then we fall back one more night. I think we can just kind of slowly trickle down to about 10 below to start off tomorrow morning. That would tie a record from over 100 years ago. Wind chills as cold as 25 below. Dress in layers. Think about the pets. My dogs are going crazy not being able to go outside for long stretches. I'm sure yours at home as well. Down near 10 below to start off tomorrow. 16 for the afternoon high. It looks great compared to where we've been. We haven't been into the double digits since since Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock. 32 then Saturday, and then making a run at 50 on Monday. There are going to be people walking around in shorts by Sunday.
There certainly will.
I'm not joking either.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I have a teenager, so I know you're
Yes.
right. So these days look good compared to what we've been through, but when we look at the next 10 days, it's like a gift.
Even a couple of days would be great.
Yeah.
We got near 50 Monday. I tell you what, Tuesday keeps being the day that might make a run at 60 degrees out ahead of this storm system that's trying to bring some rain, and then it doesn't cool off too much behind it. But let me show you what that storm system looks like for the middle of next week, because model run's coming in a little more impressive today with it. There's some rain actually to start off on Wednesday. Most of it should be rain as this passes through, but you can see it's trying to put a little wet snow down. I would say most of that's rain, but it's something to watch for the middle of next week amongst our warmth. It's not going to unlock bitter Arctic air though, so that's good news. That is just going to be another system moving through. A little subtle reminders that winter isn't over yet, but I think the worst of the cold hopefully is behind us, because average highs by next week are up into the 40s. So that's where we should be. Anytime we get a snap like this, hopefully we can avoid some sub-zero lows, I guess.
All right. Good to know.
All right.
Thank you. In the meantime, you have an update on that crash. It's going into Lincoln. What do you want to clarify?
So we got an update from the Nebraska State Patrol that you may have seen some of the vehicles that were rolling along that view. They're working on some traffic control around here. So there's such a backup because of where this crash is that they were just kind of filtering some vehicles through. So here's what we're talking about if you're just joining. It's west of Lincoln at 48th Street. It does remain closed on I-80. They're just trying to get some of these vehicles out of the way. So if you are heading in this direction, here's what you need to know. If you're going west, it is still closed on I-80 westbound at 48. So you will need an alternate route, and a good option here is to use Highway 6 until you get past that crash there, and then you can return to the interstate. So we'll keep an eye on that and give you the heads up when that does reopen. Further closer to home, I should say, we are still looking pretty good as far as how things are moving on the roads. Not a lot in the way of issues. Pretty smooth travel aside from a couple of areas, and that includes one-lane travel on Pacific. We've got water main break repairs that are happening here. This is scheduled to be in place for 1 month, just off to the west of 90th at Pacific. Very busy stretch, so maybe consider using Dodge or Center as your alternate route to try to avoid some of those delays that are likely going to show up as you're making your way along that stretch.
All right, Dirt, thanks. Happening today, Mayor Jean Stothert officially files for re-election. It's coming as one of her opponents is facing some backlash for a statement he made at an event over the weekend.
Now, Mike McDonald says he believes the city's homeless coordinator is a DEI hire and he would fire her on day one. Stothert says McDonald's claims discuss her, adding that it was Tamara Dwyer's credentials that got her hired.
There was a job description, there was an application process, she applied. I think we had 6 to 8 that were sent to me to interview. They were all, really qualified, but she stood out because of her passion.
We do have statements from McDonald, Stothert, and fellow candidate John Ewing on our website. We reached out to mayoral candidate Jasmine Harris for comment, but have not yet heard back. We have heard from many of you who have had issues navigating the airport lately.
Yeah, phase 2 of the terminal construction started this week. For the next 2 years, the central part of both terminals is closed. Now, signs have been posted to guide travelers through some of the changes. If you enter the wrong side of the terminal or the garage, you have to go outside to get to the other terminal.
If someone has to go outside and they have any concern, they can get special assistance by contacting our communication center, and that number is available online, as well as we have red courtesy phones throughout the terminal as well to help provide additional assistance as needed.
Construction is set to happen for the next 2 years. If you plan to fly at Epley, you're encouraged to show up early. Coming up, the big debate that took the internet by storm.
The anniversary of a renowned dress when first.
All right, happening today, we're marking 10 years of the blue and black dress.
Or is it white and gold? Remember that? The big debate was picked up by fashion bloggers, celebrities, and the general public as a whole. Everyone was joining in on the discussion, stating what color they saw. So right now, my question is, what color do you guys see?
This is always the fun part. I, right now, see white and gold. Yesterday, when they were talking about this on the Today Show, I saw blue and black.
I usually see white and gold. I've only a couple times seen it.
I see white and gold.
I've always seen it as white and gold, but I think the actual... I have always seen it as white and gold.
Really?
I never saw blue and black, but the actual dress, according to the woman whose dress it was, is blue and black.
I see both. So was there any science about this, about why we can see both?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember how that went, actually.
That's so funny. You've never seen the blue and black.
Nope.
I was a quick blue and black first instance, I guess.
Wow. You see blue and black right now?
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
the debate continues.
I think there was an explanation, but I don't remember what it was.
I was sitting there trying to see the gold and the white, and I can't make it happen.
Can't make it out.
I love
it has to be something with our brain chemistry, something like that.
But people got so fierce on the internet. People were
you had your defenders and your
mad.
supporters.
I just thought it was pretty cool. Everybody could see things differently. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here or over the air.
All right, have a good day.
Live from WOWT, this is a First Alert 6 weather day.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. A frigid, in fact, dangerous morning for temperatures outside. We'll get a check in on what to expect today with Rusty.
Yeah, unless we dip here in about the next 45 minutes, it looks like 15 below. is going to be the coldest so far this morning, and that breaks the old record of 11 below. So crush the record. It's not often that we break these by 3 or 4 degrees, and that's what we have happening. Feels like 25 below in Omaha and in Lincoln. Feels like 37 below in Columbus as we start out. So this is, far and away the coldest morning by air temperature, and some of the wind chills are even beating what we had earlier on this week. You can see by the afternoon, those actually get back above 0. First alert forecast today takes us up to 8 for the high, but unfortunately we're going to fall back one more night. First alert weather day for Friday morning, again, dip down near 10 below to start off the day. Let's send it over to Jarrett now with an update on Thursday morning traffic.
And it's pretty quiet out there with a lot of the schools having canceled and not having that traffic on the roads. A little bit of slowdown showing up right around 90th and Dodge, 90th and Maple also with some delays. Watch 90th and Pacific. You get just west of there, you've got water main break repairs with lane closures. But the metro mostly quiet. We do have the road closed on I-80 westbound just west of Lincoln due to a crash. You can see traffic has been getting detoured at 48th Street. So use Highway 6 as your alternate route if you're going to be heading west of Lincoln this morning.
Our breaking news that we're following: a Metro garage erupted in flames this morning. This happened near 49th and Lillian Street in Bellevue just after 5. We do not have many details on what caused that fire or the extent of damages. The good news is no injuries to share.
Well, it is 7:28, and we are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.
Camera where the exit was closed.